You are capable, you are intelligent, you are full of potential, and yet you are losing. Not because you lack talent, not because the world is against you, but because you start strong and finish weak. You burn bright for a season and fade before the harvest. You have ambition but no spine to carry it through. This is the tragedy of the inconsistent man, the woman who dreams in color but lives in gray. You know what you want. You just won't stay in the fight long enough to claim it. I have spent 20 years studying men and women who rose from nothing to everything. I sat with Andrew Carnegie in his library. I watched Thomas Edison work through the night. I studied Henry Ford when the world called him a fool. And I will tell you what separated them from the millions who tried and quit. It was not genius. It was not luck. It was not even opportunity. It was the iron will to show up every single day and do the work when no one was watching, when no one was cheering, when every fiber of their being wanted to stop. Consistency is the difference between a wish and a fortune, between a dream and a destiny, and most people never learn this until it is too late. You started something once, you felt the fire, you saw the vision, you told yourself this time would be different, and for a week, maybe a month, you were unstoppable. You woke early, you planned, you executed, you felt alive. Then life interrupted. A setback arrived. Doubt whispered, and you slowed down. You skipped a day, then another, then a week, and before you knew it, you were back where you started, staring at the same ceiling, asking the same question. Why can't I follow through? Why do I always quit? The answer is simple but painful. You have never built the mental discipline to persist beyond the feeling. You are still a slave to your moods. You work when you feel inspired. You rest when you feel tired. You quit when you feel discouraged. And feelings, my friend, are the least reliable guide you will ever follow. Every great fortune begins with a definite chief aim, a singular burning purpose that commands your mind, your time, your energy. But ambition without consistency is like a match struck in the wind, bright for a moment, gone before it lights anything. You cannot build an empire on excitement. You cannot construct a legacy on good intentions. Success is not a lightning strike. It is a brick laid every day, a decision made every morning, a promise kept when no one else would notice if you broke it. The men and women who win are not more talented. They are more stubborn. They are more committed to the plan than to the emotion. They understand that the universe does not reward potential. It rewards persistence. Let me tell you about Thomas Edison. When he set out to create a practical electric light, he failed over 10,000 times. 10,000 experiments that did not work. 10,000 reasons to quit. 10,000 moments when anyone else would have walked away. But Edison did not see failure. He saw feedback. He saw data. He saw progress where others saw defeat. And he showed up every single day. Not because he felt like it, not because people believed in him, but because he had made a decision that was stronger than his circumstances. He decided the light bulb would exist, and he refused to let a temporary result change a permanent decision. That is consistency. That is the power of a mind that will not be moved. When the world finally saw his invention, they called it genius. But Edison knew the truth. It was stubbornness dressed in work clothes. You are drifting, and you know it. You wake up without a plan. You move through your day reacting instead of creating. You are busy but not productive. You are tired but not from meaningful work. You have goals written somewhere, maybe in a journal you have not opened in months. You have dreams you talk about when someone asks but do nothing about when you are alone. This is the quiet tragedy of the inconsistent life. You are not failing dramatically. You are fading slowly. And no one will stop you because it is invisible. It looks like normal life. It feels like everyone else. But deep down, you know you were made for more. You feel it when you lie awake at 3 a.m. You sense it when you see someone else doing what you said you would do. You taste it when another year passes and you are in the same place, wearing the same excuses, telling the same story. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts as fact whatever you repeatedly feed it. If you feed it doubt, it will produce hesitation. If you feed it fear, it will manufacture obstacles. If you feed it inconsistency, it will believe you are not serious, and it will stop helping you. Your subconscious is like a garden. It will grow whatever you plant. But if you plant seeds one day and abandon them the next, nothing will bloom. You must tend the garden every single day. You must water the vision, pull the weeds of doubt, protect the soil from the frost of criticism. This is not metaphor. This is how the mind works. And the man who understands this will accomplish in 5 years what most do not accomplish in 50. Before I continue, answer one question honestly. If you were to die tonight, would you be proud of what you did today? Would today be worthy of the life you say you want? Or was today just another day you survived instead of conquered? If you are still listening, something inside you is waking up. You are tired of the drift, tired of the excuses, tired of being less than you know you can be. That restlessness is not anxiety. It is your soul demanding alignment. It is your potential knocking. And the only question left is whether you will finally answer. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, but desire without daily action is delusion. You can want something with all your heart and still lose it to the person who wants it just a little less but works at it every single day. I have seen brilliant men die broke. I have seen average men die rich. The difference was never intelligence. It was application. It was the willingness to do the mundane work, the repetitive work, the work that does not feel exciting but compounds into something magnificent. You think success is a moment. It is not. Success is 1,000 invisible decisions made when no one is looking. It is choosing discipline over comfort. It is choosing progress over perfection. It is choosing to show up even when you do not feel ready, even when the results are not yet visible, even when every voice in your head says it does not matter. Andrew Carnegie understood the mastermind principle. He surrounded himself with men whose minds, when combined with his own, created a force greater than any individual could produce alone. But Carnegie did not just gather brilliant men. He held them together with consistency. He showed up to every meeting. He honored every commitment. He built trust through predictability. And that trust became the foundation of a steel empire. You cannot build anything lasting on inconsistency. Not wealth, not relationships, not reputation. People stop believing in you when your actions do not match your words. When you say you will do something and then do not. When you start strong and fade, they do not hate you. They just stop counting on you. And in a world where trust is currency, you have made yourself poor. Let me tell you about a man I once knew. He had a dream to own his own business. He talked about it for years. He had notebooks full of plans. He attended seminars. He read books. He knew everything about success except how to stay consistent. He would work on his idea for 2 weeks, then get distracted. He would save money for 3 months, then spend it on something else. He would build momentum, then disappear. 10 years passed, and he was still talking about the same dream, still making plans, still waiting for the perfect moment. Meanwhile, another man with half his intelligence and twice his persistence started a business, failed, started again, adjusted, persisted, and built something real. The difference was not talent. It was the refusal to stop. One man loved the idea of success. The other loved the process. And the process always wins. You think it, you feel it, you act on it, you become it. This is the formula. But most people stop after the second step. They think about what they want. They feel excited for a moment, and then they do nothing. Or they do something once and expect everything to change. Success does not work that way. You must act consistently until the action becomes identity. until you are no longer trying to be disciplined. You are a disciplined person. You are no longer trying to be consistent. You are a consistent person. This is transmutation. This is how desire becomes reality. You repeat the thought until it becomes belief. You repeat the action until it becomes character. And character, over time, becomes destiny. Henry Ford was told the automobile would never replace the horse. He was called a dreamer, a fool, a man wasting his time. But Ford had something the critics did not. He had a definite chief aim and the persistence to pursue it daily. He did not argue with the doubters. He did not waste energy defending his vision. He simply went to work, day after day, test after test, failure after failure, until one day the world changed and the men who mocked him were buying his cars. Ford did not wait for belief. He built it, one consistent action at a time. And that is your only job, not to convince anyone, not to prove anything to the crowd, but to show up for your vision every single day until the world has no choice but to recognize what you have built. The seed of equal or greater benefit is hidden in every failure, every setback, every closed door. But you will never find it if you quit. You will never discover the lesson if you walk away. You will never unlock the next level if you stop at the first obstacle. Every adversity is a test, and the universe is watching to see if you are serious. If you quit when it gets hard, you were never committed to the result. You were committed to the feeling, and feelings fade, but decisions, when made with finality, become unshakable. When you decide that nothing will stop you, nothing can. When you decide that you will persist until you succeed, failure becomes impossible. It is only delayed success. It is only education in disguise. You have wasted enough time. You have started and stopped enough times. You have made enough excuses. You have blamed enough circumstances, and none of it has changed your life. None of it has moved you closer to the person you want to become. The only thing that will change your life is consistency, the daily decision to show up, to do the work, to honor the commitment, to act on the plan even when you do not see results, even when no one is watching, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because everything is happening. Beneath the surface, in the invisible realm where all great things are born, you are building, you are compounding, you are becoming. And one day, seemingly overnight, the world will see what you have been working on in the dark, and they will call it luck. They will call it talent. They will call it a breakthrough, but you will know the truth. It was consistency. It was the choice you made every single day to keep going when everything in you wanted to quit. Riches begin in the mind, but they are built in the body. You must take the thought and translate it into physical action. You must take the desire and turn it into a daily habit. This is not glamorous. This is not exciting. This is the part no one talks about, the part that separates the dreamers from the achievers, the grind, the repetition, the showing up on the days when you are tired, when you are doubting, when you are not sure it is working. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when you build the character that will sustain your success. Anyone can be consistent when they feel inspired, but the person who is consistent when they feel discouraged, that person is unstoppable. Autosuggestion is the process by which you influence your subconscious mind through repeated affirmations and mental images. But if you affirm your goals one day and ignore them the next, you are not programming your mind. You are confusing it. You must be consistent in your mental diet. You must feed your mind the same vision, the same belief, the same purpose every single day, morning and night, in moments of doubt, in moments of fear. You must saturate your consciousness with the image of who you are becoming until your subconscious accepts it as truth and begins to organize your life around it. This is not magic. This is psychology, and it works. But only if you work it. Only if you show up for it every single day without fail. Let me tell you what happens when you become consistent. People start to notice, not because you are loud, but because you are reliable. They see you working when others have quit. They see you progressing while others are still planning. And slowly, they start to believe in you, not because you convinced them, but because your actions spoke louder than your words. You built trust through predictability. You built respect through discipline. And one day, opportunities start to appear. Doors start to open. People start to invest in you, not because you are lucky, but because you have proven through consistent action that you are worth the investment. You have shown the world that you do not quit. And the world rewards people who do not quit. You were born with potential, but potential is worthless without persistence. You were given gifts, but gifts unused become guilt. You were designed for greatness, but greatness is not an accident. It is not a lottery. It is not a stroke of luck. Greatness is the result of a decision followed by 1,000 consistent actions. It is the result of choosing to do what others will not do, to work when others rest, to persist when others quit, to believe when others doubt, and to show up day after day until the dream becomes reality. This is not theory. This is the law of achievement, and it is available to anyone who is willing to pay the price. The price is not paid once. It is paid daily. In the quiet hours of the morning when you choose discipline over sleep, in the moments of discouragement when you choose hope over despair, in the times of failure when you choose persistence over surrender. Every day you are choosing, and every choice is either building your future or betraying it. There is no neutral. There is no pause. You are either moving forward or falling behind. And the only way to move forward is to show up consistently, to do the work faithfully, to honor the vision relentlessly. This is how legends are made, not in one grand moment, but in 1,000 small decisions that no one else sees. You are not reading this by accident. You are here because something inside you refuses to settle. Something inside you knows you are capable of more, and that knowing will haunt you until you act on it, until you stop talking and start building, until you stop wishing and start working, until you stop dreaming and start doing. The world is waiting for what you were created to deliver, but it will not wait forever, and you will not get another chance at today. This moment, right now, is your opportunity to decide, to draw a line in the sand, to say enough is enough, to commit not just to the goal, but to the process, to the daily grind, to the unsexy work, to the consistency that no one applauds but everyone eventually sees. Your life will not change because you read this. Your life will change because you decide, after reading this, that you will never quit again, that you will show up tomorrow and the next day and the day after that, that you will build your success one brick at a time, one decision at a time, one consistent action at a time, and that you will not stop until the vision is real, until the dream is built, until the world cannot ignore what you have become. This is your moment. This is your call. And the only question is, will you answer it? Will you finally become the person you have always known you could be? Or will you continue to drift, to delay, to make excuses, to let another year pass without progress? The choice is yours, but the time is now, and the world is watching. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you want more messages that grow your soul, subscribe, because your journey has just begun.